Okay, guys. Well, reset the station here. I've got an induction stove top. I've got my water on to boil, and I've got the vegetables that we prepped there a little bit earlier. So we're going to go through the process of blanching it here now. A couple little safety things. I have a nice dry towel. One thing that you probably noticed, I don't use oven mitts and stuff like that. Towels I find are the best. And make sure that they are dry, okay, if you're handling anything that's hot. I have it folded here a few times, so I've got a nice cushion there against any heat that might be in the pot. So I'm going to put that to the side here. Now, got lid on here, helps it boil up a little bit quicker. And I'm going to put in a good bit of salt there. You can see it's like a good handful of salt, okay, right into the water. I have a handy strainer. If you don't have something like this at home or a strainer, you can just drop the veggies in. It just makes it a bit harder to get out. So if you had a spoon with holes in it or a tongs or something, you can get them out. But having some sort of a strainer that will fit into your pot works really well. So next thing I got to just think about is the vegetables. Some of these vegetables are a lot stronger than others. So cauliflower, for instance, it's got a very strong flavor. I would want to leave that one towards the end. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change my water all the time. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with our carrots. So first I'm going to put them into my strainer here. And it's going to cook very fast. So we're only really half cooking. Take my lid off, put it to the side there. And I'm going to leave the lid off for the moment. And I want to just let that come back up to the boil, which will happen very, very quickly. Over here, I have a container that has cold water. Ideally, if you have some ice in there, it would be even better, okay? And we're going to just give these a few seconds. And they are actually almost ready. The water had come back up to the boil pretty quick. I'm going to just move them around in there. And out they come. Shake off all the excess hot water. Plunge into your cold water. Get that. That's to stop it cooking. Now, one thing you don't want to do is leave them in the water. Remember, we're trying to keep color. We're also trying to keep the vitamins and everything in here. If we were to leave them in the water, you might as well just throw the veggies out and drink the water because their vitamins are going to just be in the water. So we cool them off, chill them off. Get all the excess water off. And I'm going to put them onto my sheet tray here. So that's one done. Now I'm going to get on to the next one. I think I'll do the green beans next. And wait for my water to come back up to the boil. It's almost up there now. And I'll go ahead and put my beans in. Beans are going to take a little bit longer than the carrots because, again, the carrots were cooked very fine. And you don't want to put a lid on with the green vegetables and stuff because it makes it, they don't come out as nice and green. So just leave your lid off. And we'll just continue to let them kind of cook there a little bit. So as this is going, you'll notice that they're going to come out nice and green. Okay, they're not going to be khaki green, they're just going to be this bright green color. Again, you're going to have to be careful. We're around hot boiling water. One of the things you can do when you blanch vegetables like this, you could get them ready earlier on in the day. So if I'm having dinner at home and I want to have my stuff, maybe I'm putting something on the grill, and I'm going to be outside watching that piece of fish or that piece of chicken or whatever's on the grill. I'm not going to have time to be watching my veggies inside. So I can get these ready and blanched ahead of time, and then finish them off as the rest of the items go to the table. And you'll see that in a little while. Okay, so got my green beans into my cold water. Stop the cooking process. Get them nice and cold. Okay. And then I'm going to put them onto my tray. If I'm going to keep these to cook later, to finish off later, I might decide or what I not might, I will, cover them up with some saran wrap, maybe put them in a dish, and stick them in the refrigerator. So we have our carrots and we have our green beans. The next I think I will do will be our asparagus. Okay, I'm going to put them in. But I am not doing the tips and the stalks at the same time. I'm going to keep these behind, okay? So wait for my water to boil up, and in it goes. Okay, so the asparagus is in there, coming up there to a simmer. The thinner that the asparagus is, of course, the quicker it will cook. So be very careful on that, okay? Again, we are just par cooking, half cooking at this rate. And these guys are almost there. And I'm going to take them out straight into my cold water. Put the lid back on here, bring all that back up to a simmer. Again, want to get all of that heat out of there. And we'll put them down beside the beans. Now, I think we'll do the tips here next. Water's back up. Now the tips are going to cook very fast. Again, the thinner that they are, the quicker this will happen, okay? So in some cases, you're talking about 10 seconds, 15 seconds in boiling solid water. And we'll just give them another little bit. See how that was very fast. Put my lid back on. Now that brings us back down. We have the two items here. One is broccoli and one is cauliflower. So and onto our tray. Okay, so we're going to be doing our broccoli next. Now, don't overfill your pot. You're going to need a pot that has a decent amount of water in there. And don't overfill it, because what will happen, you'll take the heat out of it and it'll take a while to come back. So small batches work quicker in the long run. And make sure that I'm getting the water really moving around in there, around the broccoli. And again, we want to get it par cooked. We do not want to overcook. We don't want to lose the flowers on the top, okay? And this will take maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, something like that. The cauliflower is going to take a little longer. Okay. So that goes in there into cold water, making sure that it cools right off. Put my lid on, bring this back up to a simmer again. And my broccoli is blanched. And then the last thing will be the cauliflower. So we'll leave that in there, and through the magic of video and stuff, this will be done a little quicker. But I would think probably 45 seconds to a minute on the cauliflower. Again, it will always change. If the cauliflower florets are very small, it's going to cook quicker. If they're bigger and they're more robust, then of course it's going to take longer. So you use common sense when you're doing this. Okay, so now our cauliflower is blanched into our cold water. And we will just leave it there for a few seconds. Get that heat out of there. And onto our tray. This water, we're done with it for the moment. So I'm going to just put it to the side. I'll lift up the veggies here so you guys can see. And you can see there we have our cauliflower and our carrots. Here's our broccoli, our beans, our asparagus tips. And they will be, they're going to stay like that. I could take these now, maybe put some saran wrap on them, stick them in the refrigerator. And then later on tonight, then I'll come back and reheat these. So that will be the next part of the video, is what do we do next? Okay. So have my boiling water back again. This is just before dinner. I'm going to be reheating, salt in there as well. I've got a pan here that I'm heating up. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on here. Got a plate. I have my vegetables back in my basket. Whoa. And then I put them in here. This time I can add a few of them together because I just want to bring them up quickly to heat. I have kept out the tips of the asparagus. I'm just going to put those in right at the end, okay? So I've got my boiling water. I'll put my asparagus in now. That's just the tips. The other parts have already been in there. Got my pan is nice and hot. I've got some salt and some pepper. Out of the water. Get all of the excess water because it's going to spit a little bit here on you. This is a saute pan I'm using. Remember, this is a big piece of Lego. This is something that you... Okay, salt. A little bit of pepper. If you want to put some garlic in, that would be grand. I'm going to add just a touch more olive oil right on top there. Going to give them a little toss in there. I don't want to get any color and stuff. And then straight on to my plate. I'll just turn off these things here. And now you have nice shiny vegetables that are nice and hard, or that al dente, that little bit of bite to them. Excellent. So try it. Let me know what you think. Practice it. And I tell you something, that your kids are going to eat up your vegetables for you, okay? All right. Talk to you later. I got some lunch to eat here. And thank you for watching. I'm Chef Frank Murphy from North Bend High School. And have a good day.